What's up guys, it's BT here, and today we're going to be taking a look at my updated PC build. Now most of these changes are cosmetic, but I feel like they can help some of you guys, as I know a lot of you guys have been interested in some of these products. So I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on what worked, what didn't work, and some of the cooler things that I put into this build. So the first order of business was changing out my case. Now I don't know about you guys, but I've been seeing this trend of like minimalistic cases, and they just look so damn sexy. Now before I had the lian-li 011 dynamic, and while it's a great case, it's easy to build in, there's plenty of room to route cables, and overall it's just a very spacious, easy to build in case. I literally have no complaints about it other than it's really wide and I'm not using all of that space, as I haven't water cooled my system yet and it just seems like overkill for what I have going on. So I decided to downsize my case to a NZXT H510i Elite. Now this case has been on my radar for a long time. I love NZXT cases because they just have those nice clean edges, and the tempered glass that they have around this Elite case looks absolutely stunning. Now in the front they've got those two fans, but it's not full of RGB. It actually has black in the middle, and only around the rim will you see lighting. So it's not as bright as my old case, but I kind of like this new minimalistic look that I have going on. I have the white version of this case, and it's got that nice white band there for the cable hider, that classic NZXT look. I did run into an issue of like routing cables, as it was pretty tight in some areas, especially with my new RGB cables. And my PC temps have actually been really good with this case. I know I've heard some horror stories of some people having some bad airflow with this case. Now, I did leave the default fan in the back black. Now I do have their RGB fans from NZXT, but for some reason I just like this new matte white aesthetic that I have going on in the case. Kind of wanted to tone down the RGB in my setup and just have a nice, clean, minimal look with almost little to no lighting. Another issue that I ran into with the case is that I wanted to vertically mount my GPU, but if you have this crazy gamery looking GPU like I have from Aorus, it's not gonna work, as it was just protruding and I couldn't actually put the glass back onto the case. And I'm actually pretty sad about that, as I was looking forward to vertically mounting my GPU finally. Sometimes it be like that. Overall, the case was a dream to build in, very straightforward, easy to build in, a little tight, but that's to be expected with a minimal case. I also put in a NZXT PSU in here at 850, it fits in perfectly. There's nothing sexy about power supplies. Speaking of the power supply, I'm actually using these new cables from lian-li. They're streamer cables, streamer cables. The plus version, they're new ones, and these are just extensions to your power supply cables. The 24 pin plugs into your motherboard and the 8 pin plugs into your GPU. Now with this case, like I said, it is very tight and I had issues with the 8 pin going to my graphics card, so I just left that cable normal, but I do have the 24 pin going to my motherboard. I was able to kind of like squeeze it in there because it's actually really thick. They've got this layer of RGB along the actual cabling. The cables themselves aren't actually glowing, they actually have another layer on top that's an optic fiber layer. So this is all plugged into a controller that can control the brightness, the modes, the colors. So it's really cool that you're able to really fine tune this to your setup to match it. Now I did say that I was trying to tone it down on the RGB, but I just couldn't help it. These cables are absolutely sick, and I love that they actually have this white version on there, so it goes with the rest of the aesthetic of my case. So the last and final piece, my favorite piece of this entire new PC update, is the NZXT Z63 Kraken, aka the meme machine. So when I first saw the Z63, I was like, you know, that's cool. Like with anything, you're like, all right, you know, that's cool. It's kind of expensive. It's like 250 bucks. And I was like, yeah, I don't really need it. And it's something where you don't really know that you need it until you get it and you realize how awesome it is. So not only does this keep my PC cool, whether I'm idling at 35 degrees Celsius or I'm playing videos on YouTube or video editing, then it's around 50 degrees Celsius. And then when I'm like gaming, it's around 80 degrees Celsius or less. And this actually cooled my 9900K more than my previous one, the Corsair Platinum. I forget the exact name of it, but I was very surprised by that, as that one is like a 360mm AIO and this is a 280mm AIO. So the beautiful part of this Z63 and what makes it so worth it is you get a real-time readout of your CPU temperatures. You don't have to open up a program or have something running in the right corner of your game. You can actually just see it by looking to the right at your PC. Now they have many different layouts. You can show your CPU and GPU temperatures, but the feature that everybody wants to know about and will probably do at some point is use that GIF uploader that you GIF. Is it GIF or GIF? Write down in the comments which way you say it. Anyways, that's another topic for another day. In the cam software, you'll be able to upload a GIF of anything that you want as long as it fits within that little circle. So as you can imagine, you can have a ton of fun with this. You can match it with your setup or anything that you have going on. Like if you have a retro wave setup, you can just throw a retro wave GIF on there and it'll show up and it'll look gorgeous. Now it's a little less saturated when you upload your GIF to the Kraken, so you probably have to crank up the saturation and then re-upload it to the Kraken software. It's just an awesome idea, awesome features. Not only that, it's backed by performance. So if you've been wondering whether that AIO is worth it, it's a hell yeah. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for my PC update. Mostly cosmetic, everything else has stayed the same, and I will be linking all the specs to my PC down below. Let me know if you guys have any more questions about the build or any of the products featured today. It has been your boy BT. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.